Now we're going to our tight end section. And this week I've gone with Foster Monroe of the Raiders, who is up against the Chargers. Since starting the role from Darren Waller, Monroe has 15.6% target share, 38.5% in the red zone, and an 84% routes run rate. Since week 7, he's actually 17th in PFF receiving grade and 22nd, in yards per run rate on a minimum of 15 targets. He is very much the tight end one. And I think we've kind of, in the past, we've kind of outlined how much of a tight end wasteland it is if you don't have the top 2 or 3 tight ends. And for someone to have that level of target share, especially in the end zone, and we know how much Derek Carr likes to chuck it around the yard. And this week he gets the Chargers, who are 16th against tight ends. You couldn't get a better matchup. And I think if you're looking for someone that is going to get you the very minimum of 6 to 8 points, definitely in excess of that if he gets a touchdown, I mean, you'll definitely take that from a tight end, given he's not the main tight end in Darren Waller. So that's my pick for this week, Foster Monroe of the Las Vegas Raiders. Shay, who have you got?
Oh, that's a good one there. He had a good week last week, and to be fair, I wanted to pick him, but I didn't go with him last week. In fact, and I actually wanted to pick him this week. So great minds, I must say, think alike. I'm rolling with the New Orleans Saints, Juwan Johnson. Now, we know that they got shut out last week. It was an absolute dog's dinner, as we say over here, of an offense versus that elite San Francisco 49ers defense last week for the Saints. They were terrible. They were disjointed. And that was a function, I believe, of the 49ers elite premier defense. I think he's got a great matchup against the Bucs. And I find that the New Orleans Saints always play up to the Bucs, who happen to have the 27th ranked defense versus tight ends as far as giving up fantasy points. And I think that they're going to do everything to try and stop the likes of Chris Olave. Look for a lot of big hits on Chris Olave, considering that he was concussed earlier this season, whereas a bigger target in Juwan Johnson working in that slot would be a bit more stout, a bit more reliable as far as durability throughout the game. And I hope that Chris Olave lasts the game, but I think that the Bucs are going to play very physical to match the Saints, who tend to play very physical against the Bucs and Tom Brady and apply a lot of pressure with the likes of Cam Jordan and so on. And so because of that, I think he's looking to bounce back. He had 0 catches, and he normally averages somewhere between about 6 or 7 or 4 to 7 catches per receptions per game. And so because of that, I think that they're going to heavily lean on him and Alvin Kamara to beat them being the Buccaneers. And I think that the Buccaneers are going to try and stop Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave in a passing game, because I think those are the 2 biggest threats, offensive threats in this team. And so because of that, I'm going with Juwan Johnson, tight end for the New Orleans Saints.
Again, another excellent pick, actually. This is someone that, again, as mentioned earlier on, tight end is such a fickle position. And I'm just looking through now. I mean, in the last couple of weeks, he's got in excess of 12 targets, and he's managed to bring in at least 10 receptions within those targets. He's a very, very efficient tight end. And I mean, last week he was very, very unfortunate. I don't know if you saw the play there where Kamara fumbled on the end zone and he nearly jumped on the ball. I think he just squirmed under him, and he could have had a better day than he did last week.
Definitely.
Arguably against one of the best defenses in the league. He's a very athletic tight end as well, so that's a great pick in a position where it's not great this week, and in bye weeks you get what you get. So I think that's a great pick.
Definitely. I mean, he's got 12.2 points, 15.4 points off of 7 receptions, 12.2 points in week 9 against the Baltimore Ravens with only 2 receptions. 13.7 points after 4 receptions, and he only got 2 receptions last week. So you got to think that whatever the San Francisco 49ers did schematically against him was to nullify his threat, hence why Andy Dalton and or Taysom Hill didn't target him. So he didn't get the targets for starters. But it shows you that he's got a lot of big playability, and I'd imagine that he's going to be a good red zone or end zone threat for the touchdown. So look for him to get any end zone threats or red zone threats as far as targets, red zone targets, I beg your pardon, against the Buccaneers, linebackers, and so on. And so because of that, I'm going with Juwan Johnson. So yeah, I think Foster Moreau is a great pick. I'm looking forward to seeing the Raiders this week after that great win. And I think he's going to be incorporated a lot. And I think as well that after seeing the I don't know what to call it, was the war rampage or the war path that Josh Jacob had last week.
Yeah, he definitely had a day. I think he had more yards on the ground than most teams have had all season. So yeah,
Exactly.
he was excellent. I think 303 yards in a single game is something special, and it deserves recognition. And we
Definitely.
at Call the Huddle have most definitely recognise talent and great play. And he's someone that, again, if you've got him, you definitely started him. But he had a fantastic game
Definitely.
last week.
And so because of that, I think their division rival in the Chargers see that and say, we ain't getting that running back march all over us like the legions of Napoleon or something. So I think they try their best to nullify that run and that slow death that is the run. And I think that, like you said, Foster Moreau, I can't knock that pick, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, as mentioned before, we've said this a number of times, but please let us know who you've picked. It is entirely up to you. As mentioned before, we do give you the tools to kind of outline and help make it easier for you to make those decisions, but it is entirely up to you. Let us know who you pick. Let us know in the comments. Let us know via Twitter. Let us know via YouTube. Like, subscribe, and just let us know the situation.